gone, lost, forgotten, no longer existent, no longer a memory. Odds are, Madam Contest Master, fellow Toastmasters guest, that one's parents never said or did anything that had a worldwide effect. Notwithstanding what your parents said and did is important to you and to your descendants. What did Mom used to say? Hey, Richard, this is David. Could you refresh my memory of the story that Aunt Lillian used to tell about Grandma and the snake? He doesn't remember. Hey, Myrna, this is David. What decade was it our grandfather used to drive those original electric trolleys in Nashville? She has no idea. When a person dies, a vast collection of personal stories and memories perish. Just as you enjoyed listening to the accounts of your parents' and grandparents' childhood, and you enjoyed telling your kids about your childhood, unless these memories are recorded, they are forever gone, lost, forgotten, no longer existent, no longer a memory. The persistence of memory, a painting by Salvador Dali, is persistent only because, in a sense, it has been recorded. How can they learn from our lives, our successes as well as our failures? Not to mention the mere enjoyment of listening to what we did and said, unless these stories are recorded. It is their heritage. It is their DNA background. It is their story. David Russell Kennedy, the son of Hoyt Russell Kennedy, the son of Oliver Herman Kennedy, the son of Henry Gardner Kennedy. Names. Just names to my descendants, unless I add meat, stories, to make these personalities more personable. In the Second World War in the Navy, Dad used to squeeze the railings of the ship to develop its grip. Stories that add flavor to a name. When my boys were small, I used to tell them that the reason I wore a wedding band was to keep the herds of women from chasing me. And it made sense to them. Here was Dad wearing a ring, and there were no herds of women. I fully intend to use that on my grandkids. And you men are welcome to use that on your kids and grandkids once I devise some system of lucrative royalty payments. Stories that add personality to a name. December 31st, 1862 to January the 2nd, 1863, the Battle of Stones River. The fighting was intense. The repercussions of the mighty cannons reached into the nearby counties. The sound reached into a holler in Cannon County and landed on the ears of a woman by the name of Lovacy Gooden Cooper. Knowing that her three oldest sons were in that battle, she spent the entire day in her prayer closet, interceding, pleading for the lives of her dear boys. After the conflict was over, the carnage was so horrific, it was said one could walk on the cadavers of the fallen for a long while without ever having to touch the ground. But the lives of her three sons were saved. Years after my mother had passed, this story first came to me from one of her cousins. Lovacy was my great-great-grandmother, one of those boys, my great-grandfather. In a sense, Lovacy's prayers delivered me. When I get to heaven, I'm going to kiss that beautiful woman on the cheek. With her permission, stories add a flavor, a purpose, a destiny. What did Dad used to say? It is my deliberate intent to instill in you the drive to record your story. Have with you at all times a pen and a paper or a digital recorder. And when a memory comes to your mind about your past, a story about your parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, something that occurred in school, whatever. Put it in a prompt format. Dog buried out back. Dad laying boards in attic. Busted fingernail on cinder block. Later on, transfer these in the same format to the computer. Make backups. Later on, when you get a chance, elaborate on one of those stories, and when you do, you will be delightfully surprised to see a long lost memories, a flood of them that will carry you back to the past, and you have a chance to relive these memories. Your descendants may or may not know the names of most of their recent ancestors, but they can know you. They can love you. They can miss you and yearn for you, and you will give them a destiny. It's your choice. Gone, kept, lost, retained, forgotten, recorded, no longer existent, vibrant, no longer a memory, preserved,